Take my parking spot that I just dug out? Fine. I'll bury your car. This happened a couple years ago. It had snowed a bunch, and so I went out to clear a spot for my boyfriend at the time for when he got home from work. Police officer. I spent a while digging it out. And as I was finishing up, some girl drove up and parked in it while I was still shoveling it. I told her that I just dug it out intending to use it and asked her to move. And she didn't. She then got out of her car and walked away. Turns out she lived 2 buildings down, so she normally wouldn't park there anyways. Our complex had a mini snowplow, and the dude was plowing in the area and saw this all go down. He helped me move all the snow from the pile he just created and put it all around her car. We buried it up to the door handles on all sides. He then dug out a new spot for me. Saw her later trying to dig out her car. Turns out she didn't have a shovel. So, naturally, BC I'm petty, I went out and reshoveled the sidewalk from the lot up to our building. And threw all of the snow on her vehicle while I did it. Then went inside and took my shovel with me. Edit, emphasis added for people who don't get why I was so petty. Edit 2, thanks for the gold. Edit 3. Answers to questions for clarification. I only mentioned BF was a cop to justify why he was at work during all the snow. Which was why I was digging him out a spot. Also, the spot was between 2 other cars, so she couldn't even walk along the side of her car to get to the door. Which also meant that it didn't take much snow to bury her car in. That last bit really sealed the deal on this being petty. I was gonna say that was the cherry on top of pettiness. Pretty sure stealing a freshly shoveled parking spot is a valid defense for manslaughter in both Chicago and Boston. It is. Source, from Boston. Double stamped. From Chicago. Was she watching while you did it? That would be the icing on the petty cake. Yep. DGAF middle finger. I don't know you. But I'm proud of you. Should have dumped a bucket of water onto the car as well. I like your style there. Satan. Deleted. I would have put an envelope under her wiper blade with a note that read good luck and a plastic spoon. LMAO. Love this idea. Also put a little ribbon around the spoon as if it's a gift. Having lived in snow country, I loved it. Even living in an apartment, I always have a shovel. Plus I help neighbors. Not act like the rude asshole that she is. Snow haters GTFO cold weather rules. Op would have been justified in just setting the car on fire. But damn fine PettyRevenge holds civilization together. ... But that woulda melted the snow around it. P. My friend's husband had a similar story. He dug a spot out in front of their apartment building for his pregnant wife. Marked the spot with the normal dibs marker lawn chair when some asshole in a truck pulled up. Threw his chair in their lawn. And took the spot. He told this guy he dug the spot out for his pregnant wife who would be home from work any minute. Guy flipped him off and told him too bad. Southside Irish don't play that way. He got a 12-pack and set his alarm on his phone to go off every 30 minutes. When his phone alarmed, he ran a hose over the guy's entire car. He did this all night. He said the car was a solid ice cube for days. PFFT. That's nothing. I have seen a person get stabbed over such a thing. The person lived and it was superficial but still. Stabbed. For her to take it right in front of you, I understand the pettiness oozing from your beautiful pores. I strive to be like you, Purple Heart. Dude, being stabbed would leave me with a gnarly scar and the coolest story behind it. Not sure I'd be mad if I survived TBH. I would say the very end was maybe too much. But frick it. Rude people have to learn their lesson somehow. Honestly, I would probably seal the deal with water to make it require a pickaxe to move the car. The best ending would have been your BF writing her a ticket. Private property. He wouldn't be able to skeptical smiley face. In my state, we put furniture and shiz over the spaces we dig out of the snow so people don't frick with our hard work. If you dare to move someone's old recliner from a space, there's hell to pay. You don't need a recliner. Any plastic lawn chair should do the trick. I had a similar experience a few years ago. Spent over 30 minutes shoveling out a parking spot with no coat or gloves. Next day neighbors let their daughter take my spot. Not even a month later the father found out he had cancer and died a few weeks later. I think the universe had my petty revenge done for me. On a real note, he was a nice guy. That went from 0 to 100 really fast. Someone in my apartment building, let's call him Danny, did something similar a couple years ago. Someone parked in his private parking space after he'd shoveled it out. Danny was burying the car with snow when the owner returned. They got in a big argument and the cops were called. The officer sided with the asshole who parked illegally in a private parking space and made Danny dig the car back out, or else he threatened to charge him with vandalism or some dumb shiz. Should have walked away when the owner returned. People thinking if their ego is big enough, they will win. Baffles me. Who does that, when you actually see someone shoveling and you just don't give a damn and take their parking? In South Boston you can actually put any item in the spot and claim for up to 48 hours after a snowstorm. Can be anything from a chair to a popcorn machine. Not sure if it's actually against the law to move it. But TBH, I would rather deal with the police than get your ass beat for stealing a spot. For those of us in Texas, can someone explain what snow and plow is? Thanks. Snow is like white sand that is very cold and heavy. A plow is a special truck to push the snow over there. Wait, did you shovel sidewalk snow onto her car while she was digging it out? Yep. Best reason to own a smart car. Shovel out half of a parking spot, piling the snow in the snow-covered half. FTFY.